Alrighty, frequency and relative frequency. So the tables again that we did yesterday. Okay. So when we have a table and we're only given so much information, we need to use what we have to complete it. So we know that when you have a number here and a number here, these two numbers add up to the total, because total means adding. So 63 plus 37 gives us 100. Now we are able to fill everything on this. 63 plus something is 178. That one I don't know. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do 178 subtract 63 minus 63, get 115. So that means 115 worked and they didn't travel. This one we have 60 and we have 37. Well, 60 plus 30 is 90 in our 7. So 97. Those that didn't travel, adding them up, I have 5. 6 plus 1 is 7. And one more. And then our grand total going this way is 275. And then we can double check that this is 275 also. 178 plus 97 gives us 275. Now we can use all of this to answer our questions down here. What is the frequency of a student who traveled? So students that traveled is 100. The table displays students who spent their summer vacation. So 100 traveled. What is the relative frequency of students who traveled? Just a moment. That's right. So 100 of them traveled. The relative frequency is how many of them traveled. So it was 100 out of the 275. And if we find the percentage of that, that's a fraction, which it can be written as a fraction. It can also be written as a decimal or a percent. So our decimal would be 0.36 and it's continued, or 36% of students traveled. What is the relative frequency of those who traveled and worked? So they traveled and worked was 63 out of the 100. So if we want to do that, that would be 60.63 or 63% traveled and worked. 63 out of our 100. No, it would be 63 out of the total amount of students. Man, 63 out of 275 divided by 275 gives us our decimal. And the 90 keeps continuing. Multiply that by 100 to get our percent. And we would round it up to the nearest percent, so 23% students traveled and worked. On the back. So we need to fill in a couple things. The only ones we can do right off the bat are these two. So 32 plus something is 51. So the opposite would be to subtract. 51 minus 32 is 19. And then this would be 5, because 5 plus 65 is 70. I can now do this way. I have 240 plus 32 plus 5. Total of 277. Okay, this way I have to go backwards because I'm missing something. So 293 minus 65 minus 19. 209. Total here, I'm just adding them up. 0 and 1 is not 0, 9 is 9. 4 plus 0 is 4, and 2 plus 2 is 4. Then I add up here. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry my 1. 17. So that's 570. And we can double check by adding these. 449 plus 51 is 500. Plus 70 is 570. Alrighty, so now we need to figure out our percentages. So to find what percent 240 would be, we divide. 240 divided by total. 240 divided by 449 equals 53%. 209 divided by 449 is 47%. And this would then be 100%. 32 divided by 51 gives us 63%. 19 divided by 51 gives us 37%. Man, 37%. 5 divided by 70 gives us 7%. 65 divided by 70 gives you 93%. This is 100%. This is 100%. And then total would be 277 divided by 570 gives us 49%. So this should be 51. 293 divided by 570 gives us 51%. Gives us 100%. What proportion of people surveyed preferred strawberries? What proportion of people who were under the age of 18 preferred oranges? Whoops, you can't even see these. What is the relative frequency of people who preferred apples and are age 18 and over? And what is the relative frequency of people who preferred oranges? Based on your tables that you have, answer these 4 problems.